Good morning, everyone. Hello. How are you out there today? I'm so glad you could join us for our live. Yay. So, I am Yvette McQueen, MD, a global physician on a mission to educate about health, travel wellness, and disease prevention. So, I help travelers to travel safe and healthy along with travel wellness. So, my series, Physicians Around the World, I want you to hear about all my wonderful doctor friends that's traveling the world, unique adventures, and moving on. Today, we are graced with Dr. Alicia Sanders. Hey, Dr. A.
Hello, how are you?
So, are you in the United States right now?
I am. I am settled right now. Fortunately, unfortunately, I don't know.
Yeah, that's how all of us are.
Mhm.
So, tell us who you are, what type of medicine you practice,
Yes.
and where you located right now.
Yes, so I am Dr. Alicia Sanders. I am an emergency medicine physician, board certified, and I am currently in Indianapolis, Indiana. This is where I began my training. I completed my training at University of Chicago, and I've been stationed here, if you will, ever since. Mhm.
Oh, cool. Okay, so a Midwest girl.
Yes, I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia, though, so I call myself a DSGG.
What's that?
Down South Georgia girl.
Okay, okay, but you're one of my peeps in emergency medicine.
Yes,
So,
yes,
hey.
yes. Hey.
So, but I know you from like my physician traveling group. So I know you love to travel. When did you first develop your passion for travel?
Well, my husband has been a missionary since he was in high school, and so when we met in undergrad, he introduced me to a whole new world of travel. My mom, we didn't go anywhere. If we couldn't get there by car, we weren't going. So he actually helped me develop that bug, and then we started having children, and I made excuses on why I couldn't travel. And then in 2016, I was attending a conference called the Global Leadership Summit, and it's a conference designed to help leaders tap into their leadership potential, if you will. And at that summit, there was a time of prayer and reflection, and that's when I was told by the Lord, it's time to go. So I've been going ever since. That was August of 2016, and I've been going on 4 or 5 mission trips every year ever since.
Wow, 4 or 5 a year.
Every year.
So you said you met him in undergrad. Let's go back. You met
Yes.
him in undergrad.
Yes.
So when did you first get your passport?
Oh, wow. I didn't get my passport until 2011. So I met him in undergrad in 98. We started dating in 2000. We did undergrad, medical school, and then residency. So, and all in there, that's when I started having babies.
Is
So,
he also a doctor?
yes, I'm sorry. Yes, he's an OBGYN.
Okay. But he was a missionary first, you said?
Yes, yes. He's been going to Africa since he was, I want to say he was a junior or senior in high school.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow, because I don't know if you listened to my series like a couple weeks ago, and I said my first mission wasn't until, of course, I was already working as an attending, so I was like in my 40s. So
Yeah.
that's so great. He started early in his
Yeah.
life with the
Yes.
missions and things like that. Great. And unfortunately, most people I've learned, particularly African Americans, don't get their passport until they are in their 20s or 30s or in their high
Right.
school or college years. So that's wonderful.
Yes.
4 or 5 times a year. Okay, well, I know right now during the pandemic, we are not traveling or doing missions, but with
Mhm.
emergency medicine, we can fit in anywhere
Exactly.
and you have got to call me up the next time y'all sign up because I am so ready for it. So tell me you told me 13, you've been in 13 countries?
Yes, 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 yes. So I've actually been to 10 countries. I apologize. 10 countries, 14 mission trips.
Wow. Tell me about it.
Yes. So it all started off in Colombia. That was my very first one. There's an organization here in Indiana or based in Indiana called Bridges of Hope International. And my husband was on the board there. And so that was an easy in. It was, they stay in hotels and they travel to the areas that are in need. And then when the work is done, which is after about 8 to 10 hours, then you come back home. We usually travel with physicians, nurses, PAs, pharmacists, and anyone that has a love for missions. They usually run an eyeglass clinic. So that was my very first one. I knew that I wasn't ready for the true trenches, if you will, like camping out, getting my own water and that kind of thing. So at least with this one, I stayed in a hotel and, I gave of myself, and then we then come home. And those are only a week at a time.
Oh, that's the kind
So
of,
that's
what's it
awesome.
called? Bridges of what?
Bridges of Hope International.
Oh, yeah, those are kind of like.
Yes, exactly. They're 1 week at a time. You don't have to, you don't feel like you're completely exhausted. Now you do give a lot of yourself during the day.
Right.
It's hot, you're primarily outside, but sometimes there are indoor facilities, but usually not with air conditioning based on, where you're going. And you're just working all day, giving of yourself. So you are tired, but you get to come back to your air conditioning and
Okay.
running water and that kind of thing. So that's where it started. And then after that, I kept going. The Lord said, go. I would look up different organizations. I've traveled with several, but Bridges of Hope was the first. I've traveled with an organization out of Kentucky called Go International. And then my husband is the mission pastor at our church in New Era Church here in Indianapolis. And we go to Ghana every year. So, except this year, unfortunately. But exactly. So
They are opening their borders, I think, September 1st.
yes, that would be yes. But we have been in constant communication because we've been going there since I want to say 2013, maybe 2012. And the problem is you will get there and they are still requiring that mandatory 14 days. And when we travel there, our usual trip length is 10 to 11 days. So our whole trip, we'd be quarantined. So it wouldn't be feasible for us to go now. So we need the borders to be completely open without restrictions before we go back, unfortunately. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, where else?
Oh, yes. Okay. So after that, I went to Guatemala, this little bitty town. I can't even pronounce the name of it anymore, to be honest with you, but it started with a G. And then that was the first year, 2017 was the first year I went to Ghana. We usually go to Accra. And that's the largest part of Ghana that everyone, talks about.
Right.
It's beautiful. It's nothing like you see on TV with, it's absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful. After that, El Salvador, then went to Nicaragua. Sierra Leone. Now that trip was very special. I got connected with a Facebook group called Mocha Medicine.
Yes.
One of our group members is from Sierra Leone.
Mm-hmm.
And she was living there at the time, and she invited a bunch of physicians to come and join her, do some mission work. And
shout out her name.
And Fatu Forne.
Dr. Fatu.
Hi. Okay. Yes. So she's awesome. She is awesome. So she had us go over there. I say Forne, I think it's Forna. But she had us go over there, and it was a wonderful trip. It was an awesome exchange of ideas. You got to do as much or as little as you wanted in terms of setting up clinics or working in the hospital. I tell you, the OBGYNs had their hands the most full. Mm-hmm. Us emergency folks, like I know I personally wanted to go to a severely underserved area and serve there. So I think it ended up being about 4 of us that ended up going to these clinics. It was just a clinic that was already kind of set up in different neighborhoods, and we volunteered our services and brought supplies. It was awesome. So yeah, that was a beautiful, beautiful trip. Can't wait to get back there, especially since then I found out I am actually of Sierra Leonean heritage. I did AfricanAncestry.com.
Wow.
And yeah, I am of the Timni people.
So you will be going back home.
Yes, and I can't wait. So I'm going with totally new lenses now. I'm so excited.
Yay.
So that's there. And then last year, September, I went to Kenya for the first time. That was interesting. That was much farther. So if you see where I've been to West Africa. This was my first time in Central/East Africa.
East
Yes.
Africa.
So that was, I mean, the travel was much longer. It's different. Kenya is so different from West Africa.
It's all what they say, 54 countries in Africa, and they're all different. They are.
Exactly.
They're all different.
Exactly. Yes, I remember because I wanted to join you in Malawi, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Yes.
But,
okay.
But yeah, it was absolutely beautiful. That was wonderful. It was a wonderful trip. And then I've been to Panama.
Okay.
Yes, and that's interesting. It's people that look like you and me, but they all speak Spanish.
Do you speak Spanish?
Yes.
Do you speak Spanish?
Oh, un poquito.
Okay.
I can get through a medical exam and I can get food and find my way around, but like conversational Spanish is not so good in my.
But that's good. Medical Spanish is very, very helpful. And I know there's some classes and some apps out there to help you with the medical.
Oh yes. Duolingo.
Yeah, if you're in the medical field, I would say even if you don't take the whole Spanish, get medical Spanish, but even useful here in the United States doing our exams.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, you're absolutely right. Let's see. I've been to Ghana now 4 times. This was going to be my 5th this year. But I also went to Kumasi, which is another part of Ghana that's more inland, no beaches or anything like that. And they have a relationship with the University of Michigan. So they actually have a strong emergency program in Kumasi. Yeah, Kumasi, Ghana. So I was actually trying to see if I could somewhat mimic that program and bring it to Accra, because the hospital systems are very similar, but it's going to take a lot of work. So that's just something that we'll keep working on, basically. But yeah, Kumasi is awesome. And then my most recent trip before I was, shut down this past March, I was actually in Liberia. We were in Grand Gede, which is near the southern portion of Liberia. Awesome, very different. It was an awesome trip, and we were ramping up to go other places. And I'm sorry, that trip was through Medical Missions. Mission folks who love to travel. It's a Facebook group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Shanika and all them.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I traveled there. And unfortunately, Dr. Shanika was not on this particular trip, but Sherry Postba is
Sherry, yes, Dr. Sherry.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, I traveled with them on this trip, and it was, it was eye-opening, it was awe-inspiring, it was a great trip. So yeah, that's where I've been: West, Eastern Africa, and Central and South America.
Central America. Okay. So it's medical folks who love missions. I think that is.
That's it.
Yeah. So if anybody likes missions, it's actually a Facebook group, medical folks who love missions. Yeah, and they talk about missions, and they do. Dr. Sherry, she has definitely different trips.
Yes, every year, about 4.
Every year. Yeah, and they've been to Liberia a few times too.
Yes.
That's one of their repeats. So great. Oh, I am so glad you are sharing that with us. Like I said, with emergency medicine, I feel like I can give like several gifts with know everything, and we definitely need to work together. Tell me 3 things that you find that you bring home with you, because with missions, you always feel like you got more than you actually gave. I know that already. So tell me 3 things that you find that you bring home with you after your missions.
One is humility. Definitely come back a lot more humble, because you see so much, and it allows you to appreciate not only what you have, but what others don't have. Because the amount of perseverance, the amount of tenacity that these people show and display every day in the circumstances that they're in. And it's not like, anyone's looking down or anyone's, I feel pity for. It's nothing like that, because they are richer in many, many aspects than I could ever be. So, I mean, it's wonderful. So humility is definitely one. I also come back very Christ-centered. And I know that may sound interesting, but on these trips, I get so much so much time to just do some introspection. I get to talk to my God. I get to, converse back, Lord, this is where you've placed me. Give me the strength to, do this. And however you want to use me, please use me. So I definitely come back Christ-centered. Let me think of a third one, because those two definitely jumped out. Grateful. I suppose that's a kind of a spinoff of number one. I just come back truly, truly grateful. I'm in a position where I can continue to work and continue to make economic resources available to those who we have served. So just because we're not physically able to be there, especially in this time right now, that doesn't mean that we can't still share of our talents, share of our resources that we've been blessed to have. So at this time, we're saying amongst ourselves in our mission groups that the work is not done. The work is not, even though we're physically unable to be there, we can still give and we can still help. The Bridges of Hope organization has fed over 2,000 people since all this has happened, because we're still able to provide donations,
Right.
monetarily, physically, medications. So the work is still happening, even if we're not physically able to be there. We have people on the ground that we're in contact with that can still, get the work done, which is a blessing.
Blessing. And that's another thing with missions, that, you're not just going in and out and leaving stuff. You actually have contact there. You have people that are carrying on the work, even you're not there, and you're just feeding into the supply. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Dr. A, I am so glad you shared your missions with us, and tell us. Everybody's going to want to follow you, and like I said, we definitely got to get together and do some missions together. So where can they check out your pictures or your missions and follow you on your trips?
Yes. So I'm on Instagram. My name on Instagram is Mrs. Doc Mom, MRSDOCMOM. It is a private page, so just request and I'll, find you, that kind of thing. And then I'm also on Facebook. The name is my first name, Alicia, Alicia. And then first initial is N, second initial is P, and then last name Sanders. So I'm not sure if you can find me via the regular search engine. So I don't know about the Facebook, but the easiest way to find me is via Instagram. And I do have pictures of travels. Pictures of travels and different things, about mission life. Hashtag mission travel.
Hashtag mission travel. Yay. I like that. So I am so glad you can join us. And once again, one last thing, as far as to inspire the youth to go out on a mission.
Yes.
You said you have 3 lovely children.
Yes.
Do you take them on the missions with you?
Yeah. So the oldest one actually came in 2018. And it was life. She came to Ghana with us. Like I said, my husband's the mission pastor at the church. And so we lead that trip. She came to Ghana with us. And when I tell you, cataracts removed, I mean, it was just an amazing trip for her. I mean, and for me, by that time, I think I had already gone on maybe about 8 trips. So seeing mission in through a child's eyes was, I mean, it was amazing. Every time we go to one of the former slave castles. And just being on that ground, being in the rooms where some of our ancestors were, I mean, it's just, it's very moving. And so to see her experience that for herself, I mean, there's nothing like it. Words can't describe it. So our oldest has gone, and we were just waiting on the younger two to be a little bit more mature because obviously there's a lot that goes into it. You
Yeah.
can't eat certain foods, you can't go certain places. You know, we need to make sure that you can completely follow directions before we bring you
Right.
with us.
How
But
old is the oldest?
yeah, she's now 11.
Okay, great.
Yes, she's now
Oh, wow.
11, and the other two are 8 and 6. And we see some things in them that shows that they likely are ready. So maybe next year we'll end up taking all three, but we'll have to see. Now I say
Right.
all that, knowing that we have a calling to actually move there. So whether it's a mission trip or not, they're all going to be in the land anyway. So
Great.
yeah. So now we're
Okay.
just
All
Hubby
right.
wants to go to Ghana. Fatu
Mhm.
is trying to get me to go to Sierra Leone. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. So what would you tell the youth as far as, I know people are taking vacations or they do
Oh,
spring breaks, as far as, high school and definitely
oh yeah.
college. What would you tell them to prepare themselves?
Yes, I would say keep an open mind and open heart. You
Hmm.
never know how the Lord will use you when you get there. Everyone sometimes, well, most people go over with these preconceived notions. Well, I'm going to go over there and I'm just going to help everybody and I'm going to do this. But if you just steel yourself and go over there saying, Lord, use me, have me to be your vessel, and just watch how he moves, it's amazing. So that's the
Hmm.
main thing. Open heart, open mind, be willing to serve in any capacity that's needed. It may not be obvious. It may be something simple like you took French 1 and 2 when you were in the 9th and 10th grade, and now we need you as a mild translator for the French-speaking Ghanaians in this
Yes.
area or wherever country you're in.
Yes.
So it may not be so obvious, but be open and willing to be used in whatever capacity is needed.
Wonderful. Yay. Thank you, Dr. A.
What?
I so appreciate it. You are so blessed. You and yeah, I'm in your corner. I'm there for you. We're
Thank
doing a
you.
trip together. And definitely if
Yes.
you are stationed there, you gotta
Yes.
come here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We got some things in the works. We have some things in the works. So we'll see
Okay.
exactly where we end up. But yeah, it looks like we'll be making that transcontinental move.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I am glad everybody could join us for our physicians around the world, learning about more things. Dr. A told us about missions and being blessed, and how you can actually return more blessed than what you actually can
Yeah.
give. So
Yeah.
make sure you follow her, and you make sure you follow me. So you are
Yes.
already on my page, Yvette McQueen MD, for my Facebook page and my YouTube page. But my website is, let me throw this up. Of course, YvetteMcQueenMD.com, and all social media is Yvette McQueen MD. And I hope everyone stay blessed, stay well, stay
Amen.
safe. Love
Awesome.
you all. Peace for
Thank
now.
you so much for the opportunity.
You're welcome. Bye.
Mhm.